Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome back to another English online session. In the last class, I have explained you the life of Albert Einstein at school, particularly what kind of a student Albert Einstein at his school. So we have understood that he wasn't very happy with his school life. When the teacher compelled him to by heart the lessons, he defied that. He has his own way of studies, and he gave more importance to creative work or a critical thinking about the given concept. Something new, he wanted to do something new. And the teacher mocked him, asked him to stay an extra hour. And also we have understood he had a friend named Yuri, one of the best friends, helped him to in many ways. Here he helped him to get out of the school, and they have planned to play a trick like he has nerves breakdown, and Yuri arranged a doctor for that to provide a certificate stating that Albert Einstein has nerves breakdown. So and another thing we understood that about his cousin Elsa. She used to visit him and try to encourage him to study well, but Albert very clearly said he is not interested to by heart things. Finally, in the last video, I have said Albert Einstein met the doctor arranged by Yuri, and the doctor revealed that Yuri has said everything to the doctor, so no need to be panic. But Albert Einstein thought that the doctor would not help him because it was a lie. But the doctor took it in a different way. He was ready to help Albert Einstein. Now let's see what happens after that. The doctor very professionally replies that if Albert weren't really close to a nervous breakdown, he wouldn't be really seeing him. He then inquired about Albert's plans once he gets out of the school. Albert tells him that he plans on going to live with his parents in Italy, where he would join an Italian college. The doctor expresses his lack of clarity on the subject of admission in the college without a school diploma. After assures him that his mathematics teacher would provide him with a reference good enough to get him in, Albert claimed to have learned all about mathematics that is taught in a school and some more it as well. So the doctor decided to give him certificate, but he has a doubt. Without completing the school diploma, how he is going to join in the college. So Albert replied that he just very good at mathematics. He completed all the lessons included in the school diploma, and also he just learned a bit more than that. So his teacher may give just a recommendation, yeah, appreciation letter, so that will help him to get an admission in an Italian college. The doctor is still not convinced if the college idea would succeed, but he is definitely convinced about the fact that Albert going to school is not doing any much good. Thus, he confirms if a 6 month away from school period would be enough to put his plans in place. Dr. Wales tells him that he understands the situation so well because he just stopped being a student. He even refuses to take his fees and asks him to take Yuri for a meal. Filled with joy, Albert Einstein took Yuri out for supper, even though he had no extra money. On seeing the certificate, Yuri assures him that 6 months is a good time period because just in case you go wrong, Albert could back to finish his school diploma. So the doctor is not convinced. Even though he is not convinced, he was ready to give the certificate because staying back in the school also not going to do anything good for Albert Einstein. The doctor understood that because he just completed his degree. So he is also a student who understand the condition of the uh, Albert Einstein. So when he offered the fees, the doctor told him to take Yuri, also the doctor's friend, to offer him a meal. So Albert Einstein did it, even though he didn't have much money. He took Yuri out and offered a supper. Yuri also felt very good about the certificate because 6 months of uh, stay if Albert Einstein stayed away 6 months away from the school, it will help him, okay, to plan for the next uh, course, or even if he change his mind, he can come back to school and complete his diploma. So Yuri also felt very happy about the certificate. Albert reassures Yuri that this is not going to happen because he is never going back to that place or school. He conveyed his idea of taking the certificate to the head of school the next day, while Yuri reminded him to get the reference letter uh, first from the mathematics teacher, Mr. Koch. The mathematics teacher gave Albert Einstein a nice referral. He even went to the extent of saying that Albert would soon be ready to teach him, which Albert thought was saying too much. Probably out of respect for his teacher, Mr. Koch then put it in different words but furnished the reference in a way to make it smooth for Albert to enter any college to pursue education in higher mathematics. So as per the plan, he decided to go to school and give the certificate. And Yuri reminded him, before you give the certificate, just get that reference from the mathematics teacher. So he wanted to get the reference from the mathematics teacher. The mathematics teacher given beyond Albert Einstein expected. One of the teachers understood well Albert Einstein in that school. So he even thought that he even ready to write that Albert Einstein has the capacity to teach the particular teacher within a few months. That kind of intelligence, that kind of capacity he has, and he was doing well, referring well, and studying more than allotted syllabus in mathematics. So Albert Einstein particularly saying that this was one of the class he enjoyed a lot in the school. So the mathematics teacher also has a good respect towards Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein also has a huge respect towards this teacher. The teacher is ready to write beyond Albert Einstein's expectation. But the teacher expresses his displeasure about Albert leaving. But again, he knew Albert was wasting his time there. Albert instantly corrected him by saying that Mr. Koch's class was the only class where he was not wasting his time. Albert did not tell him anything about leaving, but Mr. Koch could identify it long before Albert realized himself, and also because of the referral. To his surprise, Albert was called into the head's room, although he was not aware of the reason and he was himself going to make an appointment, but he was happy that it saved him the trouble of waiting for 1 or 2 hours to meet him. Albert did not put much thought into why he was called into the office, but somehow he knew it was to punish him for his poor performance and lack of interest. But now he was done with all of it. So here he got the reference from the teacher. Before Albert Einstein thought to leave the school, Mr. Hosh know that surely Albert Einstein going to leave the school based on the attitude, and also he asked for a reference. Now, another surprising thing happened that the head of the school, the principal, called Albert Einstein, and he was about to fix an appointment with the head that may take 1 hour or 2 hour of waiting. But now it is easy for Albert Einstein to meet the head and express his opinion. But the head called him in a different reason. Albert Einstein was very sure that it is to punish him. Anyway, he is not at all bothered about that. To his utmost surprise, Einstein was told that he was not going to be punished this time. The headmaster expressed that he is done with all his laziness and wishes to no longer have him there. Albert's first thought was if he was being expelled. The head of the school was pretty serious and suggested that he left the school on his own instead of being expelled because it would be easier for both parties. Albert still didn't understand what crime he had committed. The head teacher explained how his presence is creating trouble for teachers to give lessons to other students, and how no work can be done when he is around while standing there. So, for Albert's utmost surprise, the head teacher or the headmaster told him he is not going to punish Albert Einstein. And he asked Albert Einstein to leave the school himself. So he is not going to be expelled. It is good for both parties. But now Albert is not convinced the way the headmaster talked to him, and he didn't know what kind of a crime he did to expel him or to ask him to leave the school. uh, and the teacher told him that he is creating some trouble in the classroom. So if he was present in the classroom, the teachers are finding it difficult to teach the other students. But Albert Einstein is a little bit disappointed about the reference of the headmaster, and he was not at all satisfied. He was not disturbing the teachers. He was just expressing his opinion or the way he would like to learn things. He is ready to reply his opinion to the teachers. Albert felt the certificate was burning a hole in his pocket, which means that the money he had spent on extracting the certificate, which was paid in terms of a meal with Yuri, had gone waste as the certificate was rendered useless. He was anyway being sent away from school. Regardless, Albert expresses that he was anyway going to leave, to which the teacher replies that at least for the first time they are agreeing on something. At that moment, Albert was being driven by his desire to tell the head teacher the truth what he thought of the school. But somehow he managed to resist it because at last his wish was fulfilled. So Albert Einstein was not at all satisfied with the explanation given or the conversation with the head teacher. He wanted to say something the way the school was running now, but he just kept quiet because all he wanted to leave the school, and it is now fulfilled. So he didn't want to say anything. He walked straight out of the school while ignoring the head teacher's instruction with his head high. He did not even look back at the place where he had spent the most terrible years of his life. He had no real friends or close acquaintances who he could bid adieu to. He met Yuri before leaving, wished him well, and hoped he would be happy in the country he was going to. Elsa was also back in Berlin with her family, thus, there was no one else he could say goodbye to. So, here ends the story of Albert Einstein at school. So, he just ignored the instructions given by the headmaster. It shows that he is not agreeing with the conversation or the behavior of the headmaster. He left the place, and there is no attachment. He has no attachment with that school, or he didn't have any close friends in the school. But he, before leave the town, he just met Yuri, one of the best friends of Albert Einstein in that place, and he wished him happy, what he would be happy when he leave this place and go to the country Italy and pursue his education. And also Elsa left the place, and she is now in Berlin, so nobody else to say goodbye. Okay, Albert Einstein just left the place without heavy heart, because nothing he was leaving here as a as an important thing or important person. He is happy to leave this town. He left it very happily. So this is how the school life of Albert Einstein ends. I hope you understood the explanation. Now read the text. If necessary, read the text from the beginning. Don't forget to find the meaning of the new words. See you in the next class. Bye.